Let me tell you something that most people are too afraid to say out loud. Oh, people will treat you the way you allow them to. Period. End of story. If you're sitting around wondering why you keep getting disrespected, ghosted, undervalued, or overlooked, I want you to stop blaming men. Stop blaming the world, and start looking in the mirror. Because the truth, the real, raw, uncomfortable truth, is that respect doesn't start with them. It starts with you. You train people how to treat you by what you tolerate. You want to be treated like royalty. You better show up like royalty. I'm not talking about being arrogant or bossy. I'm talking about boundaries, confidence, self-worth, energy. You don't need to scream to be powerful. You don't need to prove your value. A queen doesn't explain why she's a queen. She just is. And everyone around her. They rise. Or they leave. Create. You want the secret to making men respect you. It's not in how sexy you look or how nice you are. It's in how you carry yourself. Create. How you protect your peace, and how unavailable you are for anything less than what you know you deserve. Let's break it down. Create. You want men to respect you like royalty. Then it's time to act like the crown is already on your head. Respect doesn't begin with anyone else. It begins with you. How you show up for yourself. How you speak to yourself. How you allow others to treat you. Create. You can't beg for respect and expect to receive it. You command it through your presence, your energy, your boundaries, and your silence. And how create. And here's the true thing: if you're constantly trying to convince a man to value, you're already sitting on the wrong throne. Create. You need to understand something foundational. Respect is not about being liked. It's not about making sure he's comfortable, or that he understands your point, or that he sees your side. Respect is rooted in self-worth. When you value yourself, create. You don't chase after someone to treat you right. You walk away when they don't. Silence becomes your loudest answer. You don't argue with disrespect. Create. You exit. Royalty. When a man sees that you're not easily impressed, that you don't need his validation to feel beautiful. Create. That you won't tolerate being treated like a convenience, something shifts. You become the standard, not the exception. You want to make men respect you. Stop explaining your value. Stop justifying your boundaries. Stop apologizing for expecting more. Men respect what they can't control, what they can't shake, what stands firm in its own worth without wavering. This isn't about playing games or manipulating anyone. Create. It's about deciding that your peace is not negotiable. It's about knowing that your time is valuable, and your energy is precious. Create. It's about no longer overextending yourself for someone who gives you crumbs and calls it love. A queen doesn't beg for attention. She doesn't chase. Create. She attracts through grace, power, and presence. And yes, it takes courage. It takes courage to walk away when your heart still wants to stay. It takes strength to choose your dignity over temporary affection. But every time you choose yourself, you teach the world how to treat you. You show men that access to you is a privilege, not a right. That your body, your heart, create. Your mind are not up for grabs by anyone who isn't prepared to respect them fully. Create. The moment you stop needing a man to validate you is the moment men start seeing you differently. Create. The ones who aren't meant for you will fall away fast. They can't handle a woman who knows her worth. But the ones who are meant for you, they'll rise to the standard you set. Because a real man respects a woman who respects herself. So let this be the shift. No more explaining yourself. No more shrinking to fit into someone's comfort zone. No more tolerating halfway love and confused intentions. If he wants you, he'll show you through consistency, effort, and honor. If he doesn't, your silence will say it all. You are the standard. You are the prize. Create. You are the queen. And from this day forward, no one gets to treat you like anything less than royalty. Create. There's something magnetic about a woman who knows her worth. You can see it in how she walks into a room, how she speaks, how she doesn't force anything. Not attention, not love, not respect. She doesn't ask to be seen. Create. She is seen because her energy speaks for her before her words ever do. That's the kind of woman men respect without even understanding why. Create. It's not her looks, not her clothes, not her charm. It's her certainty. Her certainty in who she is, what she deserves. Create. And what she will never settle for again. Men respect boundaries, even when they test them. They may not admit it, but they feel it. Create. When you say no and mean it, when you don't entertain disrespect in any form, when you don't respond to breadcrumbs or half effort. Create. You tell the world you're not here to be an option. You're not here to be a backup plan or a convenience. You're here to be respected, valued, create, honored. And that's non-negotiable. This is the secret. Men mirror the energy you show up with. If you're desperate to prove your worth, create. They'll question it. If you show them that they can treat you inconsistently and still keep access to you, they'll believe they don't have to give more. But if you are grounded in your own value, if you know without a doubt that your presence is a gift, they will either level up or leave. Either way, you win. Being treated like royalty has nothing to do with being pampered and everything to do with being prioritized. It's not about fancy dates or sweet talk. Create. It's about a man showing up for you with respect in his actions, not just his words. But before he can do that, you have to teach him how. Create. And the way you teach is by how you allow yourself to be treated. Every time you allow behavior beneath your standards, you're saying, "This is okay with me." And every time you walk away from it, you're saying, "This is not enough." Start speaking your boundaries with confidence, not apology. Start being okay with disappointing others if it means staying true to yourself. Let go of the need to be liked and focus on being respected. The truth is, not everyone will like the new version of you. The one who refuses to be walked over, but that's okay. Royalty doesn't bend for comfort. It stands tall for truth. It's not your job to convince a man of your worth. That's already been decided by how you live, how you lead, how you love yourself. And once you own that, fully and completely, men either rise to meet you or remove themselves. It's not a loss when someone leaves after you enforce your standard. It's clarity. It's a blessing in disguise. Because every man who exits, when you demand respect, simply clears the path for one who will walk in and offer it freely. So take your crown back. Not from him, but from yourself. Because maybe, just maybe, you were the one who kept forgetting it was yours all along. Walk in it. Speak from it. Live through it. And watch how the world, especially the men in it, begin to respond. Not because you begged, not because you chased, but because you finally remembered who you are, and you refused to be treated as anything less. Create. There's a version of you that doesn't second guess her voice. A version of you that walks into a room not wondering if she's too much or not enough. Create. A version of you that no longer waits for a man to see her value, because she already knows it. And it radiates from her without a word. That version is not a fantasy. She's not someone else. She's you. Once you decide that you are done with shrinking, done with tolerating disrespect, create, and done with begging to be chosen. The truth is, you can't teach someone to respect you through words alone. Respect is taught through action. Create. Through what you accept, what you walk away from, and what you no longer respond to. Create. It's taught in the silence that follows when someone tries to test your boundaries, and you don't budge. Create. It's taught when you stop explaining yourself, and start enforcing the standards you set for your life. Create. The reason so many women struggle to be respected is because they confuse being nice with being respected. Create. Let's be clear. Being nice doesn't get you respect. Being agreeable doesn't get you respect. Create. Being low maintenance or overly accommodating doesn't get you respect. What gets you respect is self-respect. And that looks like saying no, even when it's uncomfortable. It looks like walking away from attention that isn't consistent. It looks like choosing solitude over chaos. It looks like prioritizing your peace above a man's approval. Men respect women who are rooted. Women who don't just talk about boundaries. They live them. Create. Women who don't just demand loyalty. They embody it. Women who don't just say they are the prize. They act like it. Even if it means being alone until the right one comes along. A man might be attracted to your beauty, but he will respect your strength. Create. He might enjoy your softness, but he will stay for your standards. And here's the hard part: sometimes you will be misunderstood. Create. You'll be called difficult, cold, unavailable. And you know what? That's fine. You're not here to make every man comfortable. Create. You're not here to be digestible for people who are threatened by your wholeness. You're here to be respected, to be honored, and to be loved by someone who doesn't ask you to shrink to fit into their world. You set the tone. You set the pace. And when you stop chasing men, create. Stop explaining your worth, stop settling for almost, and maybe, and when he's ready, everything changes. Create. You start attracting men who already see your worth, because they've done the work to see their own. Create. You start drawing energy that complements your strength rather than tries to dim it. Create. And you begin to live like the royalty you were always meant to be. Not because someone handed you a crown. Create. But because you finally picked it up and put it on yourself. So if you want to be respected, don't look outward. Look inward. Respect yourself enough to walk away from what doesn't serve you. Love yourself enough to be alone rather than mistreated. Create. And trust yourself enough to know that when you demand more, you don't lose anything. You only make space for better. Create. The world sees you through the lens you hold up to it. So hold up the mirror of a queen, and watch who starts treating you like one. Create. There comes a moment when you realize that how men treat you isn't just about who they are. It's about what you've allowed. Create. That's a hard pill to swallow, but it's the truth that sets you free. Create. Because the moment you stop blaming others for how you're being treated and start holding yourself accountable for what you're accepting, create. That's when everything shifts. That's when you stop being a victim of other people's behavior and start becoming the author of your own standard. Create. That's when you become untouchable, not in arrogance, but in alignment. Respect isn't earned by being perfect. It's earned by being consistent. Consistent with your values, consistent with your boundaries, consistent with your self-respect. You don't need to raise your voice to command attention. Create. You just need to raise your standard and keep it there. The ones who can't reach it will fall off on their own. You don't need to push anyone away. People remove themselves when they realize you're no longer available for the bare minimum. This is what most people won't tell you. Create. Men will treat you how you treat yourself. If you talk down to yourself, if you settle for crumbs, create. If you ignore red flags for the sake of having someone, anyone, by your side, then you're teaching them that this is the level at which you operate. Create. But when you start showing up with clarity, confidence, and control of your own life, you become the kind of woman who cannot be played with. Create. Because she's too busy playing her own game. You can be soft and still be strong. You can be kind and still be clear. Create. You can be nurturing and still have non-negotiables. These aren't contradictions. They are balance. Create. A woman who knows how to love herself first sets the tone for every relationship that follows. She's not desperate. She's not easily swayed. Create. She doesn't confuse attention with affection or validation with value. She chooses herself first, not because she's selfish. Create. But because she knows no one else can do that job for her. Stop trying to win over men who don't even know how to respect themselves. Stop giving your time. Down. Create. Your body, your heart to men who haven't earned the right to stand next to you. Create. You don't need a man to complete you. You need one who complements the powerful woman you already are. But here's the thing. Down. Create. That kind of man only recognizes you when you're walking in your full power. Not when you're doubting it. Not when you're questioning it. When you embody it. Start making different choices. Choose to walk away from lukewarm love. Choose to be okay with silence over confusion. Create. Choose to be feared for your standards rather than liked for your compliance. You weren't put here to please. You were put here to reign. Create. The sooner you remember that, the sooner your world will shift. You want men to treat you like royalty. Then act like you've already got the crown. Speak with purpose. Walk with intention. Love with discernment. Because at the end of the day, create. The respect you receive from others is a direct reflection of the respect you've built within yourself. So build it like it's unshakable. Create. Protect it like it's sacred. And never again apologize for having high standards, because real kings don't flinch at a queen's throne. They rise to